Okay, good afternoon. Hope everyone is well. 'Tis the 12th of September. Speedy, good morning. How you doing, my friend? I've just noticed I forgot to download that news indicator. It's okay. I have had a check on Forex Factory. We had, I think, the CPI, PPI at 130. So we got nothing else that's going to affect us, I don't think, this afternoon. So it was a good day yesterday. Had one trade on my 5 Apex PAs, and I had 2 trades on my funded futures. So the NQ produced a couple of nice trades yesterday. It was a little bit more. There was a few more setups on there, but I didn't notice. Obviously, yesterday afternoon until later last night, we had a massive push up. I think I came out of it, was it around about here, I think, and then it sort of went up even more. I think it went up about 150 points or something from its lows. Let's have a look. Yeah, over 150 point move. It was in quite a short period of time as well, actually. I think I came out of it. We had that dropout, didn't we? We had a little channel there and a dropout. And we had that push up, and then it just continued up. But there was a few setups, I think. I'll have a look a little later, but I did have a look. There was a few trades that I may have taken, but, you know, it happens. So market is due open at any second now. So let's see what today produces anyway. So, okay, so we're clearly going sideways. We've had a little breakout there, so whether we push back in or not, I don't know. But market is open. Let's have a look. It does seem to be sort of making lower highs at the moment, but this may push back in, or it may come down here. It's hard to say at the moment. In fact, I may bring that down to there, because there is 3 touches there, and now this. So I was going to say, if we can get a high low, it may interest me. Trouble is, this is looking like it's working down. So I've got to be careful what I do here. This is a little more obviously working down. Let's put that there a minute. So yeah, it's hard to tell really. It may be, it may not be. Okay, so we've pushed. I can take that down a speck more actually. So I take that down to there. We've got 1, 2. There's 3 touches there. I think a higher low here may be a bit risky. So we have broken the lows of the day on this NQ. Trouble is, we've had such a big move yesterday. I wouldn't be surprised if we took some of it back. So you got to be careful. This could just continue down. If it does, this will follow it. So taking a higher low here would be risky. So it's just a sit and wait time, I think, at the moment. Let's take this down to the lows of the day anyway, or to the previous lows, which were about there. Tough on this. So possible second entry short there on the NQ. The trouble is we've just broke the lows of the day, so okay, clearly pushed up anyway. So the last thing I wanted to do was think about going short there. Not that it won't come down, but if this pushes up strong, the ES will follow it. This is looking like it's going up strong, so it's kind of thinking leg down here, 2 attempts to push higher, retesting this bottom and then down some more. But the way this NQ's going, it may have other ideas. So channel down, 1 attempt to go higher, 2nd attempt to go higher. It has ticked above that bullish bar there. Trouble is, I don't think I can bring myself to go short there. It is a 2nd entry short. We have had a channel breaking. It is retesting there. It is trapped a bullish bar, but okay, bar's naff anyway. Did I reload? Not sure. Let me just check. It's okay. I don't really, I'm not really a fan of going short here while that NQ seems to be pushing up strong. But it is a channel down, and it is 2 attempts to push higher, so now that is a tempting looking bar to go short, but it's 17 ticks, so I'm staying out of that at the moment because that could tick you and stop you right out. We've had a pullback on that NQ. Let's see if that holds above there, because this might be a short trap. But it's pushing, it's slicing straight through that EMA, so maybe this is, I mean, it's 17 ticks. So, Acutry, how you doing? It's Jan in it, how you doing? But I think I read somewhere that my fund of futures will not be so strict with microscoping anymore. Good. You must have an average 15 seconds and 5 points. So 2 points is okay for the ES. Should not be a problem. Yeah, I think scalping for 2 points is pretty common, isn't it? Somewhere around about there. And the trouble is, if they continue to do that, they're gonna miss out on a lot of potential custom. So Hamza, hello to you. Are you a new face? Have I seen you before? Let me know where you're from, bud. So, 2 legs up. We've had a channel break, 2 legs up, push down, new low, bullish bar. It's also a possible lower high. So, it's hard to say what's going on here. It could continue down. It is retesting the underside of this, but I'm not sure what this NQ is doing. This NQ is going up by the looks of things. Very tempting to go hot, to go long.
Order submitted.
It's just too late, that is now. We had a couple of pushes up and a new low and a strong push up. There was a higher low there, but it was 17 ticks. So I'm just going to sit and wait. It's a little bit volatile at the moment. It's bouncing around a little bit. So, in fact, where's the, bring that down to there, I think. There is a higher low there, but this came down. It never triggered. Now it's triggered. I feel like this is going up. It's just a bit too late to get into it, unfortunately. See if we get a failure. See if we can trap a short and get a failure, because the NQ... I'm from Morocco. Luffy, how's your trading? Ah, okay, gotcha. Yeah, trading's good at the moment. I'm in a good place at the moment. Thanks for asking. I hope you're well. Yeah, I recognise you now. Yeah, some people come and go, so it's you kind of forget forget names and that. But yeah, I got you. Let's see if we get a second entry short here and it traps. Good, thank you. Possible second entry short. Let's see if we get a failure.
Order submitted.
Because this to me looks like it's pushing up. So does the NQ. Hasn't triggered that, unfortunately. Come on, come bearish. Let's trap some shorts. Okay, there is a failure happening. Let me have a look.
Order cancelled.
Get through there. It should come down with a little bit of oomph. 1, 2, 3. It's kind of like a triple test there, but there is a lot of liquidity, so it could trigger you, come down, break below here, and then push up. So I'm sitting tight at the moment. I don't want to get caught out. Leg down, multiple attempts to push higher. There's going to be some stops below there. You can guarantee there'll be some below there. It's all right, my hand's shaking at the moment. It's just gone flipping freezing in the UK at the moment. Last night was the first time we've had our heating on all, well, since about May, I think. And it's just cold. I'm in one of the spare bedrooms at the moment, and we've just put the heating on. It's just getting a little bit choppy around here, so... but we have had a triple test there. Maybe we get a higher low here, and it continues up to the top. So on the NQ, we've had a push up. We've had a couple of attempts to go lower, and now this thing looking like it's taking off. Now, if you look on that NQ, there'll be some stops there and some liquidity up here. You can bet on it. So I think now this price is likely to continue higher. If we get above this midline, just have a look at this. Now this is getting a bit choppy, isn't it? Okay, this liquidity is going to get taken care of. I'm pretty sure of it. So you can bet there'll be stops there. So I think now it's probably likely to get down to these lows if it gets below there. So it's taken that one out. There is a possibility of kind of some sort of a... No, I'm not sure about that. It's just a bit choppy, I think. We need to get above this midline on the NQ. We got a leg up, a few attempts to go lower. If we can get above that midline, then I think on the NQ, I think this is likely going to continue. It's likely going to push up. But we've got a ton of liquidity under here. I want to see this go, really. It's got to get below there for me. Once it gets below there, we'll come down and tackle the lows of the day. It's for sure going to take that out. I can't see it not now. It's easy pickings, that. It does seem to be still working down. But there is a possible second entry long off there, so let's see it break that level there. Come on. See, there is a possible second entry long here, but it's just whipping up and down. That second entry long, it's just triggered and starting to come down. Is that going to push up? It's very tempting, that, but it's just not doing a lot. It could go up or down.
Order filled.
Let's have a go. It's a bit choppy, really. I probably should have left that, but I'm in anyway now, so there's going to be a ton of liquidity up there. Come on, push up. We made multiple attempts to push lower. Come on, push. Trapped another bull bar. It's come down and left me alone. It's still struggling, in my opinion, so I may get out of this. There's liquidity up here and down here now. I think it's tried multiple times to get down, so I think my gut feeling is it's more likely to get up. Needs to get above here, though. It's ticked down below there. Okay, that's it. One down on there. I should have left it. It's a bit choppy, but that's fine. So we've cleared this level out now. So we're one down there. Hold on a minute. Hold on. Oh, yeah, I see it. Was that second entry long? Second entry long, wasn't it? Yeah. It just looked like pushed up. It tried multiple times to get down. This thing's coming down, isn't it? Second entry. Sorry, I haven't been reading the messages. So this, are we going to get a bigger move down now? We had such a big move up yesterday, so did you refresh your data? Yes, I did, mate, about 10 minutes ago, bud. What is going on with this ES, with this NQ? You shorted it. You shorted the NQ, did you? Yeah. I thought it was okay. It came down initially with this one and didn't stop me out. And then we had a bullish bar. So I thought if we get above this, it was going to push higher. But this thing is starting to sort of give me this sort of bearish feel. Longs there, channel down, first attempt higher. Liquidity there, liquidity there. Ooh, very tempting.
Order filled.
Going a bit silly here. Way lower than that. But that is probably going to get taken. So let's just get there, I think.
Target filled.
Yeah, okay, so that's got some of it back. Starting to look bearish as hell, this is. So let's just have. So by the looks of this, we've had this break, made three attempts to push higher. This is starting to look quite bearish. Why is this frozen? NQ's frozen. Can anybody still hear me okay? The NQ's frozen for some reason. Let me just check my... Oh, no. What's... my funded futures is just disconnected. That's a bit odd.
Order.
This is looking very bearish. Strange. It says it's connected, but I got no... Oh, what is going on here? Rhythmic's down. Oh, dear. You lot can hear me? Okay, so Rhythmic's just disconnected. And the NQ is just frozen. I'm getting no movement here. Funded futures just disconnected. Can't get it back.
Order.
Okay. Now we're back, but we're getting no movement here. Let's go. Strange. Let's just flick this chart over to the ES, see if this is working. Okay, this is working, but the NQ stopped for some reason. NQ 9th 24. I'm going to say rolled over. We've already had loads of price, so it shouldn't really matter. What is going on here? Has anybody else got the NQ that is frozen? It's just stuck. It's not moving. This one is. What is that? Okay, I tell you what, let's just shut it down. Shut the chart down. Copy this one. Try this, if this helps. Incidentally, just in case nobody knows, they've extended the normal 80%. Yours froze the other day. I had to close it. Really. Let's just see if this works. They've extended the offer, the 80% offer with Apex. So I had a feeling they may do. It's froze. Very odd. Let me just check that the connection, it's connected okay. So I'm just going to have to restart Ninja Trader just a second. Bear with me 1 second. Where is it? Let's just see if this makes a difference. On my chart, NQ is moving up quickly. It's just doing nothing on mine. So let's just see if this sets it. Something's gone wrong on mine. Odd. So let's do my connection. So let's do my fund of futures first. That is now connected. It's showing me rhythmic. It is connected. Okay. I need 1,000 tick chart. It's moving now. So that was a bit odd. So let me just check. Orders are coming up.
Order submitted.
Maximum order quantity. Okay. Let me just, it's the NQ65, isn't it? So
Order submitted.
Okay, that's working fine.
Order
now.
cancelled.
Right, let me just check. I've got everything I need working here.
Order
1,
submitted.
2, 3, 4, 5. It's okay. Everything's working.
Order cancelled.
Strange. Not quite sure what caused that. So, have we got a channel here? I think we may have. Strange that. I've never had that before, a chart freeze. I don't think I have anyway. There's a lower high there. But this ES looks like we've had one leg up. We may get another leg up, so maybe a bit risky. Strange. So, I think we've got a leg and a leg, haven't we? Could be something like that. Let's see if this bull bar triggers and turns. But we could have a leg and a leg. Possible failure there. Just going to remove that a minute. There's a lower high there. Just not sure what's going on here. But after such a big move, this could sort of fail, but we could have a leg and a leg. So touch, touch, touch. Bottom fits nice. So we've got on the NQ, we've got the channel up with a break and a new high and a big bearish bar.
Order
it's very
filled.
tempting. It's just bounced off here. So I'll not get too greedy here, just in case. Oh, look at that. Let's give it an extra couple of ticks. Channel break, new high. I'm getting that bearish feel here as it's hugging this line on the ES. I might get out for break even here because we could have a quick push up on the ES and clear some of this out. One, two, three, triple test there, 3 times to get up. This needs to finish bearish. Might get out here for a bit of a loss.
Stop filled.
Is this trade on your eval? No, this is my actual account. I've got one single account on this. which is down about 750. It's respecting that line all the way down. Channel break up, new high.
Order filled.
It's trading this way too aggressively. It's all right. It just looks like this ES is about to drop. We've had like a failed breakout. It looks like this is going to rocket down. Come on, push down. Let's take someone at least. Come on, push down. Just looks like this is about to launch down. Okay. Come on, drop. We're below the EMA.
Stop filled.
Okay, out for a little bit. Yeah, I'm glad I got out there. Not really. I'm trading this way too aggressively. I'm down 650 on here. Let me have a look. Let me just calm down a bit. You're down 2 today, are you? It's all right. I'm kind of expecting some downward stuff after such a big move yesterday. Someone's traded that there. There is a lower high there. Come on, push down.
Order filled.
Come on, push down. Come on. Yes, looks like it's about to drop. Come on. Trigger that one and come down. Come on. Come on, come down below there. Trading this one account so aggressively. 1200 daily loss will stop me from trading for the day.
Order filled.
That's it. Oh, 1200 for the day. That's the thing about the NQ. It'll stop you trading if you hit a $1,200 loss. So I was 560 up yesterday, so the count's down 700. I've got to stop trading that way too aggressively. Yeah, it is. Way aggressively. Right, let's have a look at this. What the hell this is doing today? Leg and a leg. So let's have a look at that. So a leg and a leg. Wow, okay, so that's not what I expected. One single trade per day. To be fair, I rarely take more than that. I've got 5 accounts here. That's a single my funded futures, which is why I'm trading it a bit aggressively and more aggressively than I should have done. 5-minute addition to VWAP and volume gives good overview. Yeah. Let's just give me the impression it was going down. That's why I was looking for shorts around here. But just goes to show you can misjudge something. But I like the way if you hit your $1,200 limit on this, it stops you trading for the rest of the day. Yeah, I'm just trading that too aggressively. Way too aggressively. Yeah, it certainly can at yard. Yeah, you're not wrong. Well, that's the one I originally took there. I kind of liked it off there. Came back, stopped me out. And then that lower high there, we broke out, pushed back in, lower high. This, at the time, there was a bit of a channel. We looked like we're about to drop. But there you go. It helped me a lot. Yeah, I've read the book a couple of times, actually. Well, I've read it once and listened to it on audio book. Yeah, it's a good read, that is. It's a good read. Kind of a triple top there. Trouble is, it could come down and put. It's hard to know what's going on here. There is like a failure there, but we're bullish at the moment, so nothing I can take here just yet. There is kind of a second entry long by the count there, but it's just too dangerous. It's too far from the EMA, and the fact that it's likely to push up. Trouble is what I do, and it's a habit I got to get out of. I'm trading 5 PAs here. I trade these very carefully. I'm trading 1 PA on that My Funny Futures, and I'm trading it way too aggressively. You kind of think, I've got 5, I'll take my time here and take a bit of a risk on the 1, but the trouble is it's a bad habit to get into. Because if you do trade too aggressively, chances are you're going to lose a lot more trades. So I've got to just, even though the fact it's just one single one, I've still got to think carefully how I trade it. Wilder, sometimes more often than not, difficult to ride. Yeah, you're not wrong, mate. I haven't traded it a lot, really, to be honest with you, which is why I'm just sort of trying it with this one My Funded Futures account. Like what it says for the psychology. Yeah. It shouldn't matter whether there's one account or 50 accounts, really. You should trade them all exactly the same, really. I got to stop doing it. So, range, I'm thinking, sort of down, bounced around that midline, then came down, pushed up. So this is the area, I think. So looking at yesterday, so we had this big push up. Perhaps we've had one attempt to go lower. Maybe we may get another attempt to go lower before it possibly pushes up some more. Who knows? Let's have a quick look on the daily, see if that's giving us any indications. So this is interesting. So let's just have a quick look on the daily. So we know we had that big push up, then a break, and then we came up its all-time highs, couple of legs back. We've pushed up, went sideways. There is a kind of a really big, strong bullish bar there. So you kind of favour that to get up to these highs, don't you? But you don't know what it's going to do. In the meantime, it could sort of do this. So we'll have to see. Okay, excuse me just 1 second. So yeah, we've sort of triggered that really big, strong bull bar. So it could potentially go a lot higher. Q3 says you can have a lot of fun with the NQ, and sometimes the NQ is very terrifying. Yeah, I think he's right. I think he's right, bud. I've not traded a lot, to be honest with you, just little bits. But yeah, this is sort of like it's like the ES is like riding a pony, and this thing's like getting on the back of a stallion without a saddle, I think, isn't it? So we've had a good strong bull bar trigger. So it could continue up, or it could pull back a little bit. So channel break new high, but it does look like it's trying to continue higher to this level up here, I think. Okay, just broke the highs of the day on the NQ. So let's get rid of that. We don't need that now. So break, new high. Yeah, see, that's interesting. The 10,000 tick chart. That is like one solid channel, isn't it? Yeah, it is. How nice that fits. We've had a break, so I take it this is where we're heading to these highs. Nice fitting channel, that. So whether it'll push up straight there, whether it'll pull back a bit first. It could come back to 55.60, which is down around this midline. Got a bit of a pullback. So that's the 10,000 tick chart. Big strong channel, fitted nice actually. So, shiver there. So we got a little bit of sideways here. So is this coming down, or is this just a failed breakout? We've had a channel with a break at a new high. It's going sideways, so there is a possible second entry long, but I just don't like what I'm seeing at the moment. It's got to get back to the EMA at least. Interesting. If we can get a higher low here, that may interest me. It doesn't fit that bad, actually. 10,000 tick chart showing us we're pushing up to break these highs. I don't want to assume we're going to do it now. We could come back a bit further first. Fits. I don't mind that, but we need a couple of legs really. Let's see if let's see what goes on here. It may rock it up really, but I need a higher low here. That's what I mean. Yeah, very strong higher low. There's a very strong bull bar which is just triggered. We could get a little bit of a pullback from it. And obviously on the daily the 10,000 tick chart as well. We're looking to for a new extreme. So, I just don't like it when it goes slow here. See if we can get a second entry long. Two legs back. This actually fits a little better. It's a bit stacked. Not room left to the highs, that's the problem. It's just not moving strongly enough for me. We have got a failure there, fail second entry long, which is triggered, but it's struggling for me. And whenever it struggles, it can pop up or down. So I like to think it's going up, but it's starting to get a bit congested here. So I don't want to get into a trade here. Close to highs, yeah, indeed. It hasn't triggered anyway, so if we get a leg and a leg, maybe we'll see. Definitely stacking now. It may just shoot up, but it's irrelevant, really, I think. What I will say, there is a bearish bar there, a failed second entry long, which is triggered. So if it gets above there, it may get a little bit of a momentum. But it's just no space to the tops, really. Has it triggered? It hasn't yet. I don't think it looks like it has, but I don't think it has. No, it hasn't as yet. I think it probably will go, but I don't want to take a trade on probably. I'll be confident. Certainly looks like it's working to me, but it's just too risky. Things can just change quick when it's slow and congested like this. Okay, excuse me just for a second. I'm just going to take a quick bathroom break. I'll just be a minute. Okay, possible failed second entry short. Well, the trouble is we've had like a little leg and a leg. So this could come tumbling down. It may go up, may come down, I don't know, but it's just a little bit choppy at the moment. So I've been experimenting a lot with NQ this year, but I have to stick with the ES. Almost all accounts I've lost on the NQ. Yeah, it's definitely a little bit more, which is why I've just been more experiment with that one my funded futures. I wouldn't risk 5 on there. It's just too risky, really. So there is a failure there. Dare I take that out any further? Would it fit? Kind of would. But I think it may go up. But that's as good as I got, really. I mean, we go up. It could go up a lot more, but it might not. And I don't like it when it goes slow like this. It's almost teasing traders in. You may go long there, you may go long there. That's triggered now. It do that sometimes when it goes slow and all of a sudden flush down, take out that, take out that. Whether that want to go, I don't know, but I have a feeling this could come down and take out any stops there and there. But then equally, it could just rocket on up. It's giving me the impression it's going up, but before it does it, you don't know whether it's just going to sort of wham out a load of stops, for want of a better word. I accidentally turned me into ALG. I apologise. Oh, you're talking to a key tree. Sorry, man. Fell second entry short. I looked at it. The trouble is, you're taking that. You're right at the tops. That was my fear coming down, taking out that and that, and it did it. So you just got some points there. But that was the worry I had trapping a load of traders. So I'm assuming if anyone had runners there, it's just disappeared. So if you got in a tick above there, it went up for 3 points. So yeah. So that was the concern I had getting in there when it's going up. You see it all the time. It goes slow, 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 slow. Wham! Down it comes. So I mean, that's a feral drop there. 5, 10, 15, 20 points in about 3 seconds. I had a feeling when it was going to go slow, but I didn't think it would get that high before it did it. Yeah, well, we've definitely got some tops here. Whether I would have gone short there or not, it's one of those things, isn't it? But so, see if we can get 2 attempts to push higher. So first entry, we need to get up there, really. I'm not concerned about this pushing up and making a new high. Whether that's a channel or not, I think it's irrelevant now.
Order submitted.
Let's see if we get a second entry short here. Channel down. Actually, looks quite nice on the NQ. Well, so far it does. Okay, so there is a second entry short, whether it forms, but something about this I don't like, so I might wait for the lower high. Yeah, because this could push up, trap some shorts and push up higher, so I'm going to wait for the lower high. We could get one leg and a second leg. Was there any news now? Not that I'm aware of.
Order cancelled.
Look. Someone posted something on the news, but yeah, not as yet. This is all done and dusted. There is some US stuff, but natural gas, none of this I don't think will make a difference. Have you reloaded your horse? Yes, I did, bud. Yes, I did. I did forget to download that update of that news indicator, so I'll do that later. I wrote it down, so I'll make a note of that after I finish trading. Yeah, I heard. Was it 1.8 million? I think. Was it 1.8 million someone got? That's not a bad payment, is it? 1.8 million. Okay, so we've got a... yeah, so I'm going to wait for... I'm not getting involved here because we could get a channel down 2 legs up. So I'm just going to sit tight here. Yeah, I think some guy had 1.8 million. Up with a few 100,000. I mean, 1.8 million, that's the biggest yet, isn't it? It was the guy who had the... do you know, there's one thing I find a little bit funny. Does anybody remember that guy who withdrew $800,000, maybe about 12 months ago? Vince, his name was. And then later I found out he was working for Apex. So was he working for Apex before he had that payment? Or was he working for Apex after I had that payment? You know what I mean? I've also seen, you know, sometimes where you see videos saying, yeah, I trade with Apex, I find them good, blah, blah, blah. I see Chris Childers in one of those videos. Now, I know Chris Childers works for him, so sometimes you have to ask yourself the question, do these guys work for him and they're just pretending that they've paid out these payments, or are they legit? I suppose it's something you've got to ask yourself the question, but I don't know. I don't doubt there are people who can sort of produce that type of money. Sure, you know. So what is going on here? Vince, yeah. But I found out then, I saw him advertising Apex. He worked for Apex. And then Chris Childers, I know Chris Childers, I talk to him once in a while. He works for Apex. So, you know, it does make you wonder, doesn't it? So, kind of like 2 legs up. That to me is just 1 leg. Maybe a triple test on the way here, we'll see. So 1, 2, maybe we get a triple test. It's hard to say. But yeah, there are obviously people out. We know there are people out there that can earn that sort of money. So this is interesting. We've come down and just broke below that, so we can see there's support there, but then it did get through there. So there's the second entry. This is the third entry. So I wouldn't want to trade that, but that could be a possible triple test. But there's something about this I don't like. So I'll be surprised if that doesn't get taken out. If that does hold and it comes bearish, that may be a triple test. But it could also be a channel up. So, I mean, you could say if this is a channel, we've had a break, push up new high, but it's just a bit too early to guarantee that a channel because we've only really touched it a couple of times. It's not what I would call a great channel. If we'd come up here and touched it a few times, then I'd say, yeah, maybe look for a new high. But the trouble is, looking on that 10,000 tick chart, it could have had a pullback. We could have had a pullback before it pushes high. Let me just get it back on a minute. I think it's important to have a look at that. So let's have a quick look at this 10,000 tick chart, because this is showing that massive channel up and then a push up. This looks like it's going to break these highs. At the time, we were up here, about here, and we had to pull back a little bit, really. I did say I didn't think it was going to get up there without pullback, so maybe that quick pullback was this. So maybe this is pushing up now. I don't think there's any type of a larger channel there, is there? It's possible, but not just yet. So is this going to break and get up here? See, the daily's got a real strong bull bar, which is triggered, and we've had a little pullback on it. So I think if you're looking at the daily in the 10,000 tick chart, that's showing me that we're bullish at the moment. Well, certainly up to these highs above this. But you don't know whether we're going to have a bit more of a pullback and take out some of these before it eventually gets up there. So getting into one of these trades just yet, it's a bit concerning. Yeah, see, let me just have a quick look at this 10,000 tick chart again. Let's just close this up a bit. So we've had that great big channel up there. We've had a break of it. It does look like it's pushing up to these highs. The trouble is, we've pushed through that niche. We've come back. We could come down and touch it again, which would bring this, if this comes down to around about the 55, 58, it could bring this right down here on the ES. So getting into a trade here is a little bit risky. Possible larger uptrend. What are you talking about? Are you talking about the 10,000 or the or here? See, I've got this as a channel. Trouble is, we're keeping away from the top here. So look at that 10,000. It could come back a bit first before it pushes up. So looking at this, if this is the top of the channel, we're struggling to get up here. So we could get a break. Now, the 10,000 tick chart, we know we could have a pullback again before we push up. This, to me, looks like it's losing a little bit of momentum. We've also had a channel with a break, 2 pushes to a new high, so there could be a smaller, just a smaller channel there with a break, 2 pushes, new high. Not the lows of the days for the wider uptrend. See, we had this big move. I didn't think we were looking to go short here, weren't we? But it had an even bigger move. I think it was 150 points up today. Yeah, I get that, mate. Yeah, I was just looking at the how much we moved up. So So this is interesting bar. So I did try that earlier. There was something about it I didn't like. I'm not confident. Yeah, you and me both, mate. So channel with a break. There is a higher low there, but I'm just not a fan of that bar. It's not triggering anything. That's a possible higher low.
Order submitted.
Let's see how high this goes. I like the way that bearish bar's triggered. It's a failure. Let's see how this finishes. Your bars are very different. I have budge, yeah.
Order
Someone else had
canceled.
mentioned that. Let me reload them again. See if this makes any difference. So we've got two legs down here, so this is a little bit more promising. See if this looks any better to you. Right, is that any better? Possible higher low. Trouble is, there is a higher low, but it's very choppy. Yeah, I'm not a fan of this. Must be your chart, yeah. So there is a higher low there. It has triggered choppers. It's just so choppy, isn't it? That higher low is a bit off the bottom. You could say 1-2 triple test, in which case I'd rather take it down here. If there's something wider. That actually doesn't look terrible in my opinion. We push up, we work in this top tier, we come down, 2 little legs down. Trouble is there's so many traps here. This looks like the straw that breaks the camel's back. Yeah, someone's took that. I looked at it, but the trouble is it's very wicky. Like, it's kind of a correction, isn't it? Oh, hello. Let's scrub that idea. That's a quick bar down. I wasn't excited. I thought once we got above there, I was maybe looking for a breakout pullback, but and then maybe continue on up. But I'm kind of glad I didn't think about it. That's fair old drop down. It's definitely a bit choppy here anyway, isn't it? I mean, I'm glad I stayed out of that anyway. So I think it's kind of like a leg up sideways. Maybe we get another leg up. I like the fact that it kind of still closed in here, which was interesting, which told me there may be some buyers down here. Yeah, it's hard to trade at the moment. If this is a channel, we've had a break of it, 2 pushes up to a new high. So technically this channel's played out, so this could come down. Looking on this NQ, we've got a big bullish bar here, relatively bullish, which is triggered. So maybe that's what it is. Channel break, 1, 2 pushes up to a new high and then down. It's hard trading today. There's a lot of chop here, chop here, chop here, chop here, and more. By the looks of things, more to come. Push up. This could be 2 attempts to go lower and then a final push up, depending on what you're looking. See the 10, let's have a look at that 10,000 tick chart again. We're below that EMA, so we've had that push up. Could be kind of like a penguin trade, leg up, 2 attempts to go lower, and then a big push up, who knows. Let's switch that to the daily. So channel up, 2 attempts to go lower, we'll see. Let's switch this on to the daily. So there's that big bullish bar that's triggered. I mean, a small pullback on here could mean 50 points on the 2000 tick chart. But I do like that. It's a nice bullish bar there. It's closed strong. It's a higher low as well. So I think there's a good chance this is going to head up to here. But we could have a bit more of a pullback in the meantime, which doesn't help us really. I think that the overall picture at the moment is it may head up, but it's hard to tell really. So definitely just ranging really. So channel, let's see if we can get a couple of attempts to push up. It's quite volatile today, actually. There's some really big bars. That EMA is climbing and it's moving around, bouncing around quite a bit. So channel on the break. See what happens here. That's encouraging. See if we can get a couple of legs. See if this thing is going to push up like on the daily. This is like 2 attempts to go lower, isn't it? Leg up, 2 attempts to push down, so it could continue on up. So I don't know how I feel about taking a short here if we get 2 legs. This thing could just take off. Yeah, it's bouncing all over the damn place. So leg up, 2 attempts to go lower. I don't think there's a bigger channel there. We've tried it. If there is, it could push up. Just not a fan of it. It's clearly ranging, but it's hard to trade. It's just bouncing all over the place. There's kind of a lot of randomness. We do seem to be. I'm just, that area there looks like it's bounced off the open. Yeah, it kind of has, isn't it? We've come down and bounced. Yeah, I have a feeling this thing looks like it's going to push up. The daily says it's going to, or saying it's trying to, and the 10,000 tick chart, but it definitely seems to be. It got close to that open, pushed up, went through it, closed above it. So it does seem to be using so leg down. Trouble is, it looks like it's doing something 1 minute. Something changes. Just can't trade this, can you? I'll tell you what, I'm just going to take a quick 5-minute break while it's doing this. Beautiful. Okay, I'm just going to take a quick 5-minute break, folks. Okay, so we clearly did push. Oh, not far. We're nearly there. So the daily was looking like we were going to break. The 10,000 tick chart was looking like we were going to break this level after that big push up. So, probably it's quite hard to trade. There's a lot of this chop around, which makes it difficult. So channel break, new high. Let's see if we get up here, whether we come back and retest this, but there's probably two legs there. Leg and a leg, right to the nearest tick. Beautiful. So, what do we think might happen? I'd still think it very likely we break that high based on that 10,000 tick chart. I mean, there's no guarantees, but I wouldn't want to take a short there, although there is a leg and a break, but I think that short there is vulnerable. And if it does get above there, it's only a couple of points off the highs. So whether we get down here and bounce, or whether we come in a bit and push up, or whether we just turn back down and come in, at least it's, although it's a range, it's working 5, 10, 50, 20, 25, 30, in a 35-point range. So we have been up here a bunch of times. We've been up here again and we couldn't get above it, but we had two legs back. We couldn't get down here either, so be interesting to see if that does. I don't think I'd want to take a lower high either, because we could get a second entry long to push up. Mind you, that is tempting back to the EMA.
Order submitted.
Not 15 ticks though. Oh my good. Definitely not 22
Order
ticks.
cancelled.
The PA lifetime fee for the 50 account. Yes, it has, mate. Everything's extended as normal. So maybe that wasn't. Yeah, I mean, you just can't trade a 22 tick bar, really. It's just too much risk, especially when we get that close to the daily highs. I mean, that's a strong push down. I mean, it's definitely volatile today. It's come down nearly 15 points just quickly, so it can really get you into trouble. So Marco took that. I'm surprised. Where did he get in on a limit order? That's unusual. Marco jumped straight in there. Let me have a look. That's unusual, that is. This is Marco. He jumped straight in there. He didn't get on a limit order. He jumped in there as it was coming down. Perhaps it was catching the move. Or did he get in here? Let me have a look. No, tell a lie. He got in here, I think. So he took that bar on the engulfing arm. That's odd. Or is it me? I mean, it was clearly a lower high. When it broke in here quite strong, you think there's a fair chance there, but it was 22 ticks. Tick above, tick below. I'm not risking that much. But yeah, sorry, John. Everything's reset. Everything's been extended. Sorry, my mistake. So is this going to try and push again? Or is it going to come down? Trouble is, it's a bit volatile and a bit unpredictable at the moment. There is a second entry short there. Is that worth a trade or not?
Order submitted.
No, I don't like this.
Order cancelled.
Possible second entry short, but it's stacking.
Order submitted.
There is some liquidity here. Maybe here. I think this is 13 ticks. Could massacre you that. I don't like that.
Order cancelled.
May well come down. It's just too risky. I'm not risking 13, 14, 15 ticks. That's nearly 4 points. I ain't doing that. I think it might get taken out that. So we've got a leg down. Well, you want a couple of legs really, wouldn't you? So look at that NQ. So we got a leg down. Okay, it's broken above there. So channel down, possible second entry short, but it's stacked. A little bit of congestion there as well, just a little small little box. Still may come down. I'd like it to break above there though, because that bearish bar's triggered. A leg and a leg. Pop out here, show something bearish. Dangerous. There's a lot of this. What I will say is there's some longs in that trade, possibly here, higher low. So my gut feeling tells me it may take out any possible break above this and then drop for a second leg down. But I wouldn't trade like this unless I get some kind of a breakout. It's definitely volatile today. It's moving around pretty quick. There's a lot of bounciness, a lot of chop. Bounciness, is that? Yes. See, on that NQ, when you break below there, you think this leg down, you think then it's coming down, but then all of a sudden it starts to turn. I thought when it broke below there, this is coming down, and then all of a sudden comes back up, turns. There is a lower high there on here. Just nothing I can take here though on the ES. As much as I think it's likely to come down. Let's see if we get a second entry short here. As much as I think it's likely to come down, I thought that when this broke out, but then it came back. Very hard to trade today. Very volatile. It's just giving you signals this is about to drop, and all of a sudden pushes back up, comes right the way up again. I think it ultimately will drop, but could easily smash it to bits while it does it. We're almost down to on this NQ2 legs there. We're not far off. See if we get a second entry short here. So there's going to be liquidity below there, quite possibly. So this is kind of a breakout pullback pattern, isn't it? There's a lower high there, but I just don't trust this at the moment. It's probably going to work, but I don't want probably at the moment. It's 13 ticks. Very tempting. I was very tempted there when it pulled back a bit. The trouble is you just don't know. My gut was telling me it was going to do that, but it's just, I don't know, I just didn't want to get in there. It is a lower high, but it's just, it could quite easily, you know, I mean, there is a possibility that this range could be a little bit more like that, so it could trigger you, push back up. It's just, it's very volatile at the moment, so it's bouncing around all over the place. So it's just a bit risky for me. It was a fair sized bar as well. Breakout pullback, but the trouble is that to me doesn't look like a very bullish bar. If it had been a bullish bar and that triggered, that may have been a bit different, but it wasn't really. It closed there, so I didn't want to risk that. It's just a bit much for me, that. So where could this come down to? We've obviously got support here, and at that, the daily as well. Sorry, the open. But it's very volatile. It's whipping up and down, isn't it? Yeah, I can see one trader took it on Thomas Wade's, or a couple took it. Let me have a look. Yeah, not many. See, once it breaks down like that, you think it's likely to head down to here, but then all of a sudden it comes down so far and turns. So it's, you know, every time we're at the top, we're kind of doing it in a different, you know, this was the top here, we're up here this time. Same with the bottom, we're there, we're down here. Is this going to be the bottom? Is this the bottom? Is this, it's just hard to tell, isn't it? We're kind of hitting different levels all the time. It's clearly going sideways, but it's not going sideways very neatly. We had a channel down there with a break. You'd expect that to possibly come down a bit lower. But then we do seem to be finding some support around this open. It's very choppy though. You can easily get damaged today. So we've had 2 legs down. Let's see how neat they are. Leg, not quite. So do I think, am I looking for a short here? Not necessarily. Maybe we get a second entry short and then maybe we get something a little bit like a spike in a channel or something. News. Channel down, 1 attempt. See if we can get a second entry short here. It's just struggling to get up. Yeah, Thomas Wade didn't take that. Possible second entry short. Let's see how this fares. Let's get an order ready just in case.
Order submitted.
That bar's got a trigger for me. I'm just not a fan of that. It's triggered. I much preferred that bullish bar to trigger. It's just struggling to get down to me. Excuse me a sec. That's a little bit more encouraging. I prefer that big bullish bar to a triggered personally. Okay, second entry short is stopped out. Could be a triple test that. This is more sideways, I think. It's more of a range, this. God, it's so bloody big though. We want to take 15 ticks.
Order submitted.
Okay, second entry short, 1, 2, 3, triple test. It's as good as I've got. Push down, 1, 2, 3 attempts to push higher. 1, 2, 3. Or one attempt, second attempt, and then down. We'll see. I might not put that below there like that, and then just if it starts to push down, drop me stop in. We could have a leg and a leg. It's hard to know, isn't it? Channel down, 1, 2, 3 attempts, triple test. I've put that above there. It's held a couple of times before. I know it's an extra $75 risk, but I'd hate for it to break above here and then come down. I do like the fact that it never broke above there, so that's positive. We have got a leg down, 1, 2, 3 attempts, or 1, 2, 3 attempts. I think there's a good chance we come down for another leg. Come on. Push, come on. Push. Come on.
Order filled.
125. Came down and turned. It's probably going to go. Two still showing. Yeah, I thought it might do. Oh well. Two still showing here, but they've all closed, so that's a shame. 25. Oh well. Let me just disconnect rhythmic. Yes, and then connect it again. Tried multiple times. We're going to have another leg down here, I'm pretty sure. See if we get a what's it breakout. At some point, once my accounts grow, I will hold on to these trades because leg down, bunch of attempts. It's usually, like Mac will say, the centre of the pattern.
Sorry, could you say that again?
Is that? That was a great trade. I think it was okay. It's just a shame. Is everything back up working? Yeah. I wanted to hold on for it to break below there. If it breaks below there, it would have given me points, but it was clearly 1, 2, 3 attempts. I mean, it was a second entry short, broke above there, came down. It was a second entry short, and it was 1, 2 triple test. We clearly had 2 legs down. We're clearly struggling to get up, so you expect to get another leg down. And I wanted to hold to here, but when it bounced and came back, it was absolutely, yeah. I like the way it broke above there, so we've sort of kind of had a break and an attempt at a low, and then I like the way it triggered above there, but it's clearly struggling to get up, so you expect it to come down. But because I'm trying to build these accounts, I haven't got the confidence to hold at the moment, but these are the types of trades that I will eventually try and hold, or at least for a bit of a decent, because if you've got a leg down there, multiple attempts to push higher, as Max says, it's usually the centre of the pattern. I expect that to come down, in which case taking a trade there, as we've made a couple of attempts to push higher, I probably have my profit down here. So I'll have secured, say, 2 points. But for me, I think it's likely to at least get down here, close to this. So I secure 2 points by doing that. But realistically, at the moment, there's 8 points there. There's $800 times 5. That's $4,000 on my accounts, with the potential to come a lot more. Certainly below here, I think. Mind you, we have had a little bit of support around that open. But I mean, with that leg down and those bunch of attempts to, you think there's a good chance this is going to come down. But I'd have probably had my, I don't know, stop here somewhere. I don't know, but I may just grab them or something. But Nikros, that was a thank you, mate. I appreciate that. It was a second entry short. The fact that it came back, sometimes that unnerves you. That tells you sometimes we kind of have that thing in our head. The closer that gets to our stop, the worse the trade is, when it's not necessarily the case. I've seen Mac mark a lot of trades where it's come back and bounced even, but and he still marked them as high probability trades. But I got 125 per account there, so that's $625, which is not terrible. I could have had a little bit more, but it's one of those things, isn't it? When you're trying to build your accounts, what you don't want to do is let it come down here, turn and stop you out. So you kind of really want to secure something. And as I did, it just came up, it came back and got me a little bit before it dropped. But once, I mean, if I had $10,000 in each of my accounts now, I'd be quite confident about putting that to. The good thing about it is once you get above $2,600, it doesn't matter whether that comes down and comes back out, takes you out of break even. Your drawdown's froze. It doesn't affect your drawdown. So, I mean, if you did put it at break even, you've got a completely risk-free trade. And the way that's looking, I think there's a good chance of getting down here. So if you put your stop there at break even, or even break even plus 1, and put your order maybe down here somewhere, even secured 10 points. But that nerves me a little bit. But even if, let's say, you secure 10 points, let's see if that gets down to 10 points. It's coming sideways a bit, that's fine. A little bit of a pullback, I'd expect. But as you get more experience, I suppose, you notice these things. And I kind of noticed that, a bunch of attempts. And like Mac will say, obviously, when you get these corrections, it's often the centre of the pattern. So just out of curiosity, if I put mine to break even, it did get 8 points or 9 points, whatever it was. But let's see if it gets down to there. The measured leg is down here, and there is some support here. So I think if you went for there, I think it'd be a lot more realistic. But I suppose what you could do is once it drops below there, sometimes if it takes out some liquidity, you'll get a surge, even if you hover your stop there and drop it at 10 points. And then if it does continue down, just follow it. So it's just a shame I only got $125 per account there. But the trouble is, when it comes back up there, it's having that confidence that the closer that gets to your stop, you think, oh, maybe this is not so good trade. I mean, I like it. We got a channel down with a breaking attempt at new low. Second entry short, we've gone up. You may even say 1, 2, 3 triple test, but it looks like a triple test to me. So, but I mean, you've got to take him, really, haven't you? Yeah, someone else took it there. Let's have a look. Someone else took that one, second entry short triple test. So, sit up again. Oh, bollocks. Oh my God, someone help me out of this again here. I keep doing this. I've got the top of this stuck in between two screens. Remind me how I move it again. It fries my head, this does. What do I touch? What do I grab to move, to pull this down? I can't. It's up here. It's hidden between the top screens. Windows key and arrow. Windows key and arrow. Oh, good lad. So where's that? That's put it back on the taskbar now, isn't it? Where are you? Where is it? Discord. Right. The trouble is, it's shot straight back to where it was. So Windows and the. Okay, Windows. That's got it. Yeah. Where is it? No, it's still disappeared. What's going on here? Oh, there we go. I got it. Oh, that fries me. Keep pressing it. I got it. Yeah. Okay. It fries my head that I keep doing it. I'll bring it down and don't drop it comfortably in there. So possible second entry short here. We'll see. See if it would have come back and got my stop if I'd have just left that. Trouble is, we are finding support down here, so I kind of like 8 points. But leg down, second entry short, possibly retesting this bottom. Let's see if it had got my stop. Yeah, it's close, isn't it? So, I mean, what I'd have probably done is put it down the bottom here, as we've tried there. At least that way you've secured yourself 2 points with the possibility of getting a bit more, which is fine. Well, I definitely think it's worth. See, I was watching. This is interesting. This is very interesting. Taylor's in a long here. Look at this. He's got this as a range. He's in a long here. That's interesting. I think Taylor's a good trader. We are range bound. Yeah, we are. But we're kind of... See, I wouldn't want to go long there, to be honest with you, because that looked like a channel to me. But I could be completely wrong. I think that's vulnerable, personally, but... let's get rid of it. So my stop's still intact anyway. We got a leg down. 3 attempts to push higher. Yeah, he's going to lose that. 3 attempts to push higher. We've made an attempt to push back in, and this is coming down for me. So that's where his stop is. So I think he's kissed goodbye to that. Leg and a leg. Let's see if it holds. I'll be amazed if it does. See, I had that as a channel. And it actually fits nice as a channel. It stops okay at the moment. So it wouldn't have hit my what's it anyway, so I'd have probably put it here now. So that would have worked out okay for... Okay, so let's put this back. So a higher low for me would have been risky personally, because we've had a leg down and a few attempts to push higher. But who knows? It may hold. Yeah, see, Thomas Wade has got exactly the same thing as me now. So Taylor has got that as a range, and it kind of is a range, but at the moment, for me, this is more coming back. Touch, 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 touch. For me, it's a leg down, multiple attempts to push higher. I expect another leg down or close to it. So taking a long there, I wouldn't have done. I agree we're kind of ranging, but where's the bottom? Here. And not only that, we've had our first sort of proper breakout. So usually when we have a breakout, we often do something the other end. So I'll be surprised if this stops here. But there you go. So let's just move this over there. So it leg and a leg or a channel. Right, okay. Let's have a look. I think he's got out the trade, I think. Yeah, he's got out the trade. So possible lower high here to push down. Big old risk, isn't it? It's a nice second entry short on the NQ. So that's very tempting there. But it is a little bit choppy. So there will be some stops below there. So trouble is it's 18 ticks. It's a big ass risk, isn't it? It's just not pushing down strongly enough for me. It's very tempting. Very tempting. That NQ looks nice. Second entry, nice big bearish bar under the EMA. But it's just not pushing down comfortably enough. Nice bar, it's just too damn big. So I'd have normally gone for 3 points. I can see this area coming down here now once it gets below there. So I'd have wanted 3 points off that. So let's see. Yes, 3 points. Yes, gone down 3.5. I liked it. It was just massive. I just don't want to risk that much, to be honest with you, because it is also a little bit stacked. I mean, it's looking like it's pushing down to me, but it does look a little bit stacked. So possible second entry long. Let's see if this triggers. I think it's likely going to work. Well, I mean, it's come down 3 points anyway, but a little over, but I think it's probably going to come down some more. But there is support around here on the NQ, so you've got a channel there and a break, 2 pushes down. So it could turn. Yeah, this area. Been in here before, shot up, been in here again, shot up. It's been in here once, shot up, and a second time. So it does look like it's working down. It does look like there's a channel on the NQ. Sometimes it just spooks you by. I mean, it does look like it's working. trouble is, I've done this before, and then jumped in and it stopped me out. So you kind of don't want to miss out, but I think if you make that judgment to leave it alone, I think it's probably best you do. I do like the fact that on the NQ there is a second entry long there, which is triggered. So I think it's likely going to break below this. If it does, it'll break below that. And then there is more there. So okay, let's see if this triggers some buys. Possible failure, second. Well, no, tell a lie, that's the second entry long. Is it? I'd like to see that trigger, that bullish bar trigger like it's done. As I bought 20 Apex Flash 50k accounts today and I've used your code. Thank you very much, mate. I really appreciate that. Thank you. That money that I get from there allows me to have a small wage so I can stay at home. It's not a huge amount, but it's enough with my wife's wage so I can stay at home and trade full time. So I do appreciate it when you guys use my code. I know you don't have to, and I know you can use anybody's code. They all work exactly the same. So it's appreciated. Thank you. I also passed all of them today. Happy days. So the good thing is now is you've only got to pay $85. So it's $850, so it's $1,700 you're going to pay, as opposed to $2,800, which you would have normally have to pay. What I would suggest to you is when you go in and pay and you select what account, check it again, and then triple check it to make sure. I've done this. I get a bit paranoid when I'm doing that because it will show you two prices. 85 for a monthly fee or 85 for a lifetime fee. Just make sure you select that lifetime fee. I got a bit paranoid and checked it 3 times, which is probably a bit much, but there you go. Good for you, mate. Yeah, always do that when you get it. Just check it and double check it. I selected it. I ticked off it because sometimes if you roll your mouse or something on some pages, you can change things. I've done it if I've come to paying things on credit cards. So I always select the box and then tick off it somewhere else and just double check. How you plan on trading them all together, or are you splitting them up a bit? I did my first lot, well, my only lot of 20. I split them down to 10 and 10. The only trouble is they seem to take so long because I was kind of scared to trade them. Because that's the most. I'm trading 5 at the moment, and I really have got no fear. It's not scaring me, but trading 10 and 20 did a little bit. So I think it's probably good initially to split them up a bit. So at least if something does go wrong, at least at least you've got a little sort of bit of a backup. But congratulations anyway. Good on you. See, I like to think all of us that come here still copy trade at the same time. Yeah, be careful, do loss. Yeah. Have you got GAT? Have you? I think if anybody's not got GAT, I think it's a great bit of. It depends. I mean, it depends on your sort of your sort of psychology. I've struggled with my psychology. I'm a little bit weak when it comes to that. So I think I got GAT as just like a backup. Because I traded it a while ago in a bad mood. It may be about 3 weeks, a month ago. I was in a bad mood. A sort of a family friend had got a bit funny with my wife and daughter. They were going out for the day and it just niggled me. We get protective over our kids, and they weren't nasty or nothing, but I said to my wife, you've got to say something. It's just not, and it niggled me, and I was in a bad mood because this person is really nice, and I've got a lot of time for real, genuine people. And this person, I won't say Melifin, this person is one of the most genuine people I've ever met. And you know, when you meet people like that, you kind of, you know, I got a lot of respect for people who were just nice, caring people. And they had to get up my wife and daughter a little bit. It was female anyway, but it doesn't matter. And it's really surprised me. So I've been using Quantar platform for 6 months now. It's got a built-in copy trader. Yes, it has. I'll tell you two things. If anybody doesn't know this, you probably do, but if you trade with Ninja Trader, you can trade Apex with Rhythmic and another prop firm with Tradeovate. I'll show you. So take a notice of this cat today, but actually that's the wrong thing. So if I go into my connections, I've got my funded futures connected through Tradeovate, and I've got Apex connected through Rhythmic, so you can trade too. How many you can trade, I don't know. But what I will say, so I'm glad you mentioned that, because I'll show you. No, tell a lie. I'll show you. I've got Quantar myself. I'll show you. It took me a while just to be able to open a page. So how many can you trade? Tradeovate and Rhythmic. I'm not sure, to be honest with you. I think you can trade as many as you can because they all come under the... I think it's the copy trade. Yeah, I've got it myself. I downloaded it maybe... I can't shut it now. Just figuring out how to shut it. There we go. Yeah. Yes. I downloaded it myself maybe about a month ago, just to kind of have a play around with it, because a lot of people tend to kind of go with that after, don't they, because of this copy trading thing. Shit. Where was I? So yeah, Quantar copy trader is unlimited. Yeah, I do watch what's the name, Alpine, although he's getting battered at the moment, Alpine. I do watch him a little bit just later in the evenings. I tend to flick and find out what other people are doing. How long is the $80? It's now been extended to the end of this month, so you've got plenty of time. You got another 3 weeks, 2.5 weeks. So yeah, it's been extended to the end of the month. So I think it's a good feature because there's quite a bit of a difference between paying $140 and paying $85. It's $55. Well, ERP there has just passed 20. So it's $55. So he's just saved himself $1,100. So it's a big difference. You know, trading's expensive to learn, and when you got savings like that, he's just saved himself $1,100 with this offer. So, it's one of the good offers that I like, that they've started doing that, because it's the same price. I'm hoping they ditch their monthly and just say, I think Apex now need to do something a little bit different to be able to compete with all these new prop firms coming out. You've got fast track trade where you can move on to a live account. I'm kind of hoping it's a feature that Apex keep. We are due some new rules and some new things coming out anytime now. Excuse me. So I hope Apex hit the ball out the park and give us some really exciting new things, and that will get Apex back into that, maybe on the top thing. You've got 10 fast track accounts, have you really, as well? Yeah, I've looked at them, but they're like $400, aren't they? But I'm hoping now with places like fast track that they put pressure onto some of the other companies to move the same way. So whether evaluations will disappear altogether. But yeah, good on you. So quick question for you. How did you find Quantar to get on with? Because I found it a bit... I've only played around with it a few times, but I find it a bit complicated. Ninja Trade is very simple. Everything's just quite bare and basic. When you open up a screen with Quantar, it looks a lot more technical. Does it just look more complicated than it is? You should try it, mate. Just, is it simple to use? Some things are when you've been trading. There just seems so much more on the screen. But I have got a copy of it, so I am going to have a play around with it. Because yeah, you can trade multiple accounts at some point. I think if you get to the stage where you're making regular money, it makes sense, doesn't it, to just get as many prop firms, because prop firms cost you very little compared to the money you can make. I'm a developer, and it's developing C language. Okay, I got you. Partially. I'm better with hardware than software. Yeah, I can kind of get by with software, but I built my own computer, but it's more like a giant Lego set. Computers nowadays, they're not that major difficult. But so yeah, C language. I did a programming course years ago using, was it C+? Is that what you mean? I think it was called C++ back then. It might have been about 15 years ago. Me and my wife just started doing a bunch of courses in the evening just for something to do. And we did a web design and we did a programming course. I think it was using C++ or C++E or something like that. Modern C++, yeah, C++. Mind you, that was 15 years ago, I think. So yeah, things change. But yeah, I have a friend who's a programmer. It's a lot of money. I forget what he programs, but he earns about, over in the UK, about £55 an hour. That's pretty good money. Does I really, yeah? But yeah, so yeah, if you're in the software business and all that, you're in the ideal place, really. You can, there's a lot you can do with NinjaTrader, isn't there? I believe you can design certain things with the software in NinjaTrader, certain indicators or bits and pieces yourself. But yeah, I think coming up with or designing some of these things to help traders, I think is a good idea. There's certainly a market for it. Also from Microsoft, yeah, I got you. Because the guy, I think he's a Spanish guy, isn't he, that developed Guardian Angel Trader. I think that's a fantastic bit of software for people who are struggling with those emotions. It's almost like having a big beefy guy next to you that physically drags you away from the price, away from the charts. Because I think sometimes it's very easy to get into these bad habits, and it's hard to get out of them, I think, sometimes. But good on you, mate. Good on you. It's nice to have 20 accounts. And the one thing about 20 accounts is, you ain't got to pay Pex another penny for the time being. Worked in central London for years, but moved to this. So where are you from originally then? Are you originally from the US, are you? I haven't been to London for years. 7 or 8 years, I think. I think it's changed a bit. Before moving over here to the US. Oh, good for you. It's nice to have the option to move around with a job. Are you originally from the Philippines? Got you. But now you're in California. Well, you definitely got the weather there, haven't you? I think last night was the first time we put our heating on in the UK. It's just temperatures dropped. And it's absolutely been a crap summer here. Crap. Where I am, we haven't seen... Well, I don't think the UK's... In London, it does usually get a bit warmer. We may hit 30 degrees, but I think it was the year before last, we had a 42 somewhere. But where I've been, it's been crap. Philippines. Yeah, I've never been any but far east way. I think as far away we got married out in Kenya, so that's about as far as I'd been. We did spend a few weeks in Cuba about 15 years ago. We went there for a couple of weeks. That place, I think, is going to change before long. Where am I in the UK? From Birmingham. If you're looking at the map of the UK, I'm about 50 miles west of Birmingham in a place called Shrewsbury, You've got Birmingham, and if you continue west about 15 miles, you've got Wolverhampton, and about another 10 miles, you've got Telford, and 15 miles after that, you've got Shrewsbury. Most of you will have heard of Shrewsbury. You probably just don't know it. It's where Charles Darwin was born, grew up, and went to school. His old house is still here. His school's still here. It's now our library. It's an old stone building, about 600-700 years old. And you can go into the top floor into his classroom. And there's a load of oak panels along the side of this big room with names and dates scratched into it going back about 400 years. So yeah, it's a small town, but it's like old Tudor, loads of old Tudor buildings. We've got an 800-year-old castle right opposite where Charles Darwin went to school. So yeah, I like the UK. It's nice, very quiet. Not a lot happens here. To go, mate. Thanks for the lucky charm. You're welcome, mate. You're welcome. Good luck with you. You'll have to keep us informed how your 20 are going. I'm assuming if you're with Fast Track, you're doing okay anyway, because that's quite pricey, isn't it? But I'm hoping they're the sort of new era of you're welcome, mate. I'm hoping they're the new era, because this space is changing constantly. There's new prop firms popping out. There's obviously a lot of money to be made in prop firms. Apex were kind of the top dog at one point. They've had a little slip, I think, when they started. They didn't change the rules. The rules have always been there. They just started adhering to them, really. And they kind of did it without any notice, and I think a few people just got a bit miffed about it. And what I will say, and I don't know if you guys are seeing this on Facebook, I'm seeing loads of companies popping up now that are saying we'll trade your evaluations for you. We won't charge if we don't fail them. If we fail them. So I think Apex are finding that there's a lot of dodgy dealings going on, and I think that's why they're asking for videos to see. I don't think it's a case of seeing what your strategy is, more a case of, is it definitely you pulling the trigger? Because they do sound, well, Darren Martin said schemers and scammers. I don't doubt they're out there. They are in every walk of life. Wherever you go, there are always people who are going to try and rip you off. So I think they're probably just facing some of that. Unfortunately, we're bearing the brunt of it with the videos, which are a bit of pain in the arse. Not such a problem with me, because obviously I record mine, so I'm sort of used to, recording stuff. So it's no great biggie for me. But we did hear a couple of weeks ago that they were bringing out some of these new rules, which are supposed to stop a lot of that. I don't know how they're going to do it, but yeah, these places like Fast Track and, quick payments and all that, that's the great thing about having more companies, because it just gets cheaper and cheaper for us. I don't think it'd be long before we can apply for a payment and get it within a day or two, straight into your bank. Hopefully they'll get rid of the evaluations and everything will just go then straight into a live account. Well, potentially. You can do it with Fast Track. I believe there's another company out there you can do it as well. So this is hard to trade at the moment. It's gone slow now. It's obviously ranging, but we're getting loads of areas of chop all around here. That one was readable. Unfortunately, it did eventually work after nearly getting me out. But it kind of looked like a channel with a couple of legs, but where's it going to go? So, yeah, I appreciate that, bud, using my code for that. That's nice of you. I do put a little video out once in a while just saying thanks, because not many people do. I think it's important just to say thanks. I know it doesn't cost you guys any more, but you can use anyone's code, really. But I appreciate it. been going for 2 hours and 50 minutes. What are we up? So we're up $125. I could have got a bit more there, but you know the story. When you're trying to build your accounts, you kind of want to get some profit before you're worried about it coming back and getting you. But it was kind of a leg down. It was kind of a triple test, or you may have even considered that as a triple test. In fact, I'd have taken that one as I did. That one I probably wouldn't have done because it's so far. But it's clearly, you may have considered that one push-up. But it clearly works. Sometimes it does come back and nearly get you. And I often see marking trades like that all the time that nearly came and stopped you out but didn't. But that tells me there was enough stops above there or enough sellers in the market to stop that from pushing just that little bit higher. So maybe that is more of a channel with a break and 1-2 pushes to a new low. So let's leave that as a channel, I think. Yeah, it's kind of a leg. Multiple attempts to push up and then the inevitable drop down below all this. Yeah, see, Thomas has got that like this as a spiking channel. It's going from here. It's going from there to there. I think if you've got that, that's a break. If you've got that, that's a break. So it looks a bit odd to me that, but it may be so, but it's irrelevant now. We've had a break and a new low anyway. So I think it's a leg and a leg anyway, with multiple attempts to push up and then the inevitable drop below there. But now we seem to be working. It's not the easiest of trading days today, so I'm quite fortunate to be up $125 per account. So I'll consider myself fortunate, because I bet there's some traders that have got battered around a bit today. There's definitely been a few traps around. But some days are like this. Some days you've really got to be on your game. That's the one thing about trading than a lot of other jobs. You've always got to kind of have your A game on. Now, a lot of other jobs, sometimes you have bad days, but at the end of the day, you still get paid at the end of the month. So, you know, whatever job you're doing, I don't know if you're a construction worker and you're knocking up a timber frame wall and something breaks or something, whatever, the thing collapses or you measure it wrong. It's no great biggie. You just sort it out. But if you're not on your A game with trading, it can punish you. So the more I sit here day after day, the more I realise I've really got to kind of be focused on this one mission today. It doesn't matter what happens yesterday. It doesn't matter what happens tomorrow. Ultimately, I've got to be on my game and make sure I don't get messed around, because you can easily get chopped up. And don't I know it? You know, bad mood, something's not feeling right, a little bit snappy. It's very easy to get some financial damage. So leg and a leg. I've got no idea whether this is going up or down here. Excuse me, just for 1 second. Okay. Trouble is, a lot of these channels now, they're pushing up and you're setting your channel and they're struggling to get up there. There's lots of areas of support around here. There's definitely some around there. We've bounced up there, bounced a few times again. But there's a lot of support there. I've used that so many times, there, and there. I wonder why that's so significant today. Is there any particular reason? Not really. We still haven't made a new high from this channel, so on the 10,000 tick chart, we're still shy of it. Have a look at it again. Yeah, so no, we haven't hit it yet, have we? So we got that great big channel up there on the 10,000 tick chart. I mean, look at that thing go. That all fits in the one, so I still think there's a good chance if I go right from the bottom there. Yeah, that fits beautifully. Touch, touch, touch. Fits lovely, that does. So we've had a break, so I thought we may have a couple of legs down and then a new high, but we've pushed up. What I do like about this, there's the open. So we've used this open as a bouncing place. So we got a leg up, 1, 2, 3 bounces. So I think there's a good chance we're going to break above this. But yeah, we've had 2 legs down. We've pushed up, we've come down, bounced once, twice, 3 times. We've struggled to get back down to this level. So I would say, based on what I'm seeing, I think there's a fair chance we get something like that, which takes us above all this. I mean, call it an educated guess, but we got a leg up, 2 legs back, a leg up. We tried a couple of times to retest, but couldn't. So this for me is likely to push up, but that's just more like an educated guess. So that would have to get us up to this level. But yeah, you can see we bounced here. The open's here, so it's definitely playing a part there for sure. We got close to it there, turns. We broke through it there, but turned back and we bounced off it there. So there's our 3 bounces and we can't get through that. So, in fact, it's quite moving within this area with the exception of that breakout, but this is kind of the range, isn't it? But I think by the end of the day, I think there's a good chance we break this area. Okay, so I'm not a fan of the way this is looking. It's just every one of these channels are hard to draw apart. Anything more than this, same again, this channel. As soon as it's almost identical to that. We push up. When we come back, we can't get to the top. Same again, we push up, we come back, we can't get up here. And we're having a break already. So I wouldn't be surprised if we had we've got the start of a break there. You could probably mitigate that with a little bit of movement, but I wouldn't be surprised. We've tried to get up twice and it's a bit of a barrier there, so I wouldn't be surprised if we had a break here. Couple of legs down, then maybe pushed up, but it's definitely hard today. I can't see Mac. Well, just as I think Mac can't mark many trades a day, he turns up with a dozen. But trouble, it's easier after the fact, isn't it? You know, it is easy, but there is so much chop today. I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't mark any more than a half a dozen today. I mean, there's so much chop. I mean, it's fitting lovely sideways. It's, you know, it's working between this area, but we get a push off here with no higher low. We get a push off here with no higher low. We get a push off here. There is a higher low there, but it's not really a higher low. That it's just a first break. And then at the top, this came down. There's nowhere to short that. There is a lower high there, but that was 22 ticks if I remember. The only other one that I've taken is there, but even that was a little bit risky. It worked. I think it was okay. It was clearly a second entry short and a triple test. And the fact that it couldn't get past there and eventually did what I expected it to, I think was okay. But there ain't a lot of trades around. It's easy to get chopped up. And on that note, I think I'm going to knock it on the head there. I've done just over 3 hours, which is about where I like to be. I am up $125 times 5, so there's just over, well, about 600 with fees, so with commissions rather. So I'm happy about that. That's okay. Considering the day it's been, I'm fortunate I've got anything. I did knacker that account a bit, but there we go. The good thing about this, if you hit $1,200 on this one account, My Funny Futures, and I was up just under 600, so I'm down 600 total, but it's fine. I'm more playing around with this chart with that one account. But there you go. So it's hard going today. It's been quite choppy, but it's slowed down a bit, and there is so much chop. We're getting little spurs of movements and then straight back chop, chop, chop. It's everywhere. It's kind of hard to avoid it today, so it might change after the bond auction. It certainly might. What time's that? Will that be 6 o'clock? So that would be about another 30 minutes. Yeah, but so I'm putting me 65-inch TV on the wall tonight. So we've had our other one about 8 years, so we're due for a new one. We've had it for about 3 days, but it's a 2-man job. So we went out for dinner last night, so for the first time in about a year and a half. So same again, chop, who knows what it's going to do. May continue sideways. A couple of legs and then maybe up. I think there's a good chance we're going to get up here and break these highs anyway. That's what that would indicate on the 10,000 tick chart, but there you go. I'm done for the day. So best of luck if you keep trading. ERP, good luck with those 20 accounts. You sound like you know what you're doing, so you got some fast track trade accounts as well. So, but I am going to have a play around with Quantower. Because what I don't want to wait to do is if I start to get more consistent as this, then decide that I want more prop firms and I've never used a damn thing. At least I've got some time to use it. So best of luck to you all. I hope you hang around and get a setup. Failing that, have a great evening, stay safe, and I'll be back again tomorrow, Friday, another week already. Unbelievable. So I'll love you and leave you, and we'll talk tomorrow. Bye for now.